34-degree clear playoff Sunday night in the shining Queen City of Cincinnati along the banks of the Ohio River, and a sellout crowd of 67,000 roaring in the jungle as they welcome their defending AFC champions Cincinnati Bengals. Led by quarterback Joe Burrow, and tonight facing All-Pro linebacker Roquan Smith and the Baltimore Ravens in the final AFC game of this Super Wild Card weekend. Thanks for having us in, Mike Tirico, Chris Collinsworth, and Melissa Stark. This is the 3-6 game in the AFC. Division rivals who split the series this year. Last week, the Bengals won on this field. Chris, I was here last year for the wild card game. The question was, can the Bengals win a playoff game for the first time in 31 years? And tonight the question, can they make another one to the Super Bowl?
I think they can. This is an explosive, big play team with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. But, you know, Mike, sometimes those big plays need a little added protection. And the right side of this Bengals offensive line is brand new. So protection of Joe Burrow tonight. Job one.
The Ravens MVP quarterback Lamar Jackson out again. His injury is turning into a saga. But Chris, if any team is built to win a game, a playoff game with a backup quarterback, it's the Ravens.
No question about it. The Bengals do have a stronger skill position group than what the Ravens have out there. But this isn't fantasy football. The Ravens are a tough, powerful football team. They can run the football on anybody. And on defense, ever since they got Roquan Smith, they have been absolutely one of the best defenses in football. This is going to be a lot of fun tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be mean, too. Ravens win, they go to Kansas City. Bengals win, they go to Buffalo. It's the final spot in the AFC Final Four on the line. Super Wild Card Sunday night in Cincinnati on NBC.
NBC Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Fifth game of Super Wildcard Weekend presented by Verizon. Bengals, the hottest team in the AFC. They've won their last 8. Ravens limping in. They've lost 3 of their last 4, a lot because of their MVP quarterback who hasn't played in a month. For more on that, good evening to Melissa Stark.
Good evening, Mike. And there has been a lot of uncertainty about the status of Lamar Jackson over the past couple of weeks following that injury he sustained in Week 13. The Ravens were hopeful he would return before the playoffs. Instead, he is missing his 6th consecutive game tonight. On Thursday, Jackson took to social media to answer questions for fans and for the team. He wrote that there is still inflammation surrounding his knee, which remains unstable, and ruled himself out of tonight's game, saying he can't give 100%. He did not travel with the team. So in comes Tyler Huntley, the former Utah standout who started 4 games this season in relief of Jackson. He was questionable coming in with a right shoulder and wrist injury, which kept him sidelined last week. Huntley was a game-time decision, but he warmed up, and John Harbaugh just told me Huntley will make his first ever playoff start. Harbaugh said we may also see third-string undrafted rookie quarterback out of Oregon, Anthony Brown, tonight, saying if the team needs a spark, I'm not opposed to that. We'll do whatever's necessary to win this game, Mike.
All cards on the table for the 60-year-old who won the Super Bowl a decade ago. 8 road wins in the playoffs, most by any coach in NFL history. Other side, 39-year-old Zach Taylor, 3rd youngest NFL head coach. 6 wins his first 2 years, 22 the last 2 seasons, AFC title a year ago. So they watch with interest in Kansas City and Buffalo and Jacksonville to figure out the matchups for next week. Down the left side, if the Ravens win, Ravens at KC, Jacksonville at Buffalo. Down the right side, if the Bengals win at home, Jacksonville and Kansas City. Cincinnati goes to Buffalo. Well, as always, great scene before playoff games. The Bengals honor a legend before the game. They call it the ruler of the jungle, T.J. Houshmandzadeh. 8 years a Bengal, also a year as a Ravens receiver as well, getting the honor of firing up the crowd tonight.
Yeah, he was telling us the Ravens weren't too excited about him being here to fire up the Bengals crowd tonight.
Great crowd, limited wind. The kickers put on a show in pregame warmups, and both can hit big field goals. It's Justin Tucker who will kick it first for the Ravens, who won the toss and deferred to the second half. Trevion Williams back to receive for the Bengals. First playoff meeting between these division rivals. Spot in the AFC Final Four on the line. Off we go from Cincy with no return